Hey guys, John Soda here, back again doing another movie review, and today we'll be reviewing the first Thor. Now, Thor is directed by Kenneth Branagh and features Chris Hemsworth, Tom Hiddleston, Anthony Hopkins, Natalie Portman, Idris Elba, Stellan Skarsgård, Kat Dennings, Ray Stevenson, Jamie Alexander, Tadanobu as Agano, Reen Russo, Josh Dallas, Comfort and Clark Gregg. So, the plot of the first Thor is that there's this like place or like dimension like there's alternate worlds like there's like in this universe there's different worlds, and like one of them is Asgard. Now Asgard is like Thor's home. It's his birthplace. It's his birthplace. It's his home, and like ever since he was a kid, he's always wanted to take over the throne because like Odin's getting old and he'll probably die and he'll probably take over the throne or something. Uh, what else was I saying? Yeah, and then like just Odin like always believes in Thor. Like he believes in both of his kids. He says like one of them will take the throne, but both of them will definitely be king. So yeah, and from there, Thor has been like really passionate with wanting to take the throne and be king, and from there, he's been doing stuff like he's been like trying to like prove his dad like he can do it and all of that. So what he's been trying to do is he's been trying to kill the frost giants. Like he's trying to kill most of the frost giants, or like kill the king of the frost giants, so they cannot have war anymore. And once that happens, what was I saying? Yeah, once that happens, he fights them, but like a lot of them like fight them back. Like he's not there by himself. He's with Loki and a whole group. Like, but they like fight back. Like, there's like a whole group fighting them, and like they barely make it out alive because Odin comes and rescues them. And then he goes back. He takes them all back to Asgard, and from there he was really pissed at Thor. Like he was really pissed at Thor, and he vanishes him. He's really pissed at him, and like he vanishes him off of Asgard, and he takes away all his powers. He takes away Mjolnir from him. Mjolnir is Thor's hammer. He takes away his hammer from him, and then he vanishes him to Earth. And then once he's vanished to Earth, like he's confused at where he's at, and he's confused like all with all his stuff and all of that. And from there, he landed at a complete Odin threw both Thor and Mjolnir there. He landed them at completely different places, and from there, runs into these people, these scientist people. Excuse me. Yeah, and these scientists their names are Jane Foster, Professor Eric Selvig, I think that's his last name, and Darcy Lewis. So yeah, that's their names, and like he just like stays with them. He goes to the hospital, and he just like gets out of there like really fast. He fights them, and then he fights them, but he's trying to get out. But then like they put him to sleep, and then after that like they take him in, and like they question him, and Thor keeps saying like I'm Thor, I'm the god of thunder and all of that. But they're like, okay, who are you really? Like like the scientists keep questioning him, and like he's just saying like I'm Thor, the god of thunder, and like they have like really mixed feelings about him. Like they're like wait, you are, and all of that. Like they keep like having so much mixed feelings about him. But like both Darcy and Jane find him really attractive. Like there's a scene where he's changing, and like you can see like how buff he is, and like Darcy's like attracted to him. Yeah. Yeah, and like so is Jane too. And like they're scientists, and yeah, they're scientists. They have like these booklets of like things to do, and they have like a whole van with like computer stuff and like technology. And like while all that is happening, where Mjolnir landed, there like people are trying to like pick it up, but like they can't. Like it's like they can't pick it up at all. Like they've been trying so hard to pick it up. They've been like trying to like get the strongest man there, trying to like get a car to pick it up, and like just so much stuff to pick it up, and like they even make a small facility on like they should pick it up and all of that. And like Phil Coulson is like the leader of this whole facility, and like Shield like joins that facility, and we get introduced to Jesper Sitwell and all of that. Yeah, and we even get introduced to Hawkeye. Yeah, Hawkeye's in that facility. Let me think. Is there anything else? And then from there, Thor's like trying to get them to like take him to get his hammer because like he thinks if he gets his hammer, then like he'll have all his powers back and he'll like be able to go back to Asgard. And yeah, and like from there, we followed with Loki back at Asgard. Now during the battle with the Frost Giant, Loki like touched one of them, and like his whole like skin turned into the same skin as the Frost Giants. And like from there, he was just really weirded out like how that happened. And then later, and then he then finds out like he then like picks up this like big blue cube, like it's this big blue cube that the Frost Giants had, but like when they pick it up, like it destroys everything or something like that, or it freezes everything. Yeah, and like from the like once he touches it, his whole skin turns the same skin as the Frost Giants. It turns to like a blue clay thing, like it turns into like the same skin as they are, and like Odin sees all of it, and then Loki finds out who he really is, that he's a Frost Giant, and then he's just like, why didn't you ever tell me this, father? And then. And then am I another one of your stolen props? And he's just like, well, I found when during the war with the Frost Giants, I found you. You were just a little baby. I took you in and I adopted you and I tried to make you not like one of them. And then from there, Loki gets really mad on what he really was. Like he's not related to one of them at all. Like he's related to the people that they've hated. Like the people that they've hated on. And he's just really shocked about it, and that really drives him like fucking crazy. Like that drives him like totally insane. Yeah, and like from there like like Odin's like he's just like and then from there Loki like proves like Odin like is I wasn't never related to you guys. That's why you guys love Thor more than me. You guys thought Thor could take the throne. You guys never thought that a frost giant could take a throne and all of that. And like he gets Odin like really shocked too. Like he puts like once he's yelling at him, he gives Odin a mini heart attack and puts him into a coma. And from there, what else is there? And then from there, he from there, like once he passes out, Loki takes over the throne. He takes over the throne, and he becomes the leader of Asgard. And like from there, the group that Thor and Loki were working with, excuse me. They're called the Warriors Three. They go in there and then they question Loki. Like they're like, "Hey, Loki, why are you in the throne?" He's just like, "I am your new king. Odin is in Odin sleep and all of this stuff." And like from there, they tell him to like bring back Thor, like have cancel Thor's banishment and bring him back, but he doesn't agree. Like he wants Thor to just be there because he does not want him to take the throne. Like he just wants it all for himself. He does not want Thor to come back. And then like from there, the girl Sif, I think that was her name. The girl Sif, she stands up and gets really mad, but then like the other dude, I forgot his name, he just takes her arm. He's just like, no, don't do that. Just leave it. Yeah, and then from there, what else was I saying? Yeah, so from there he just takes over the throne, but like he does a lot of evil stuff. Like he's the main villain to this movie, and what does he do? Oh yeah, what he's trying to do is he's trying to like end the war with the Frost Giants, but he's like tricking the Frost Giants and all of that, making them come in and all of that. He's like tricking them, and he's even trying to like destroy their whole race. Like he's gonna destroy their whole race with the thing that they use to teleport people to other worlds. Yeah, and then what else was I saying? What else was I saying? Oh yeah, and then like just Loki, he's just like he's just trying to do that because like he's just really shocked on like that he's related to them, but like he still wants to kill them. Yeah, and then from there, like Thor's trying to like get the hammer, and he's trying to, and then he finds out about all of this, and he wants to go and stop Loki because if he kills a whole race, that is really evil. Like it's they're their enemies, but he just can't kill that whole race. Like he just can't. That's just really evil, and like he is not gonna be king of the Asgard. So yeah, that's basically the whole plot of the first Thor. Now, do I like the first Thor? Yeah, I love the first Thor. This one's pretty good actually. I really love this one. Well, not really love this one. I love this movie. I don't really love it though. but it's a really good movie actually. Like this movie's really enjoyable. Like I really enjoy this movie like a lot. Like I know I've been saying that throughout the whole MCU movies, but this whole MCU series is just very enjoyable. Like that's why I love this series. It's just very enjoyable. I think I might prefer it just a little bit more than Star Wars actually. So yeah, but I really love this movie. It's pretty good. Um, yeah, and I really like the whole like small town feel to it. Like this movie like takes place most of it takes place in like a small town in New Mexico, and I really like that. Like that was a really cool decision for this movie, and the scenery felt pretty real at times in the small town. And yeah, I really dug the small town feel. So yeah, I just really love that so much. So yeah, the scenery was just basically like a really big praise to this movie. And in Asgard, it was really cool too. Like Asgard looked really beautiful. They did such a good job with Asgard in this movie. I just really loved Asgard. Just how it looked like was just amazing. Yeah, it just looked really cool and it just looked really real. Yeah, I just the scenery throughout this whole movie is just really cool. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? And let's talk about the characters. The characters are really cool in this movie. The characters, they're really cool in this movie. I actually like them more than Incredible Hulk um, and in definitely more than Iron Man 2. Like definitely, yeah. But like all the characters here are really cool. They're really entertaining. They're really enjoyable. They're really funny too. So yeah, and they're really wise too. I really like a lot of these characters. Like I really like Thor a lot. He's a really cool character, and Chris Hemsworth as Thor. That's perfect right there. Now that's perfect casting right there. That is perfect. They really got that casting choice perfect. And Tom Hiddleston as Loki was perfect. Literally, like I don't think anyone else could play Thor or Loki in this movie. They were both perfect. Yeah, just like Tom Hiddleston as Loki, that was perfect. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say about him in this movie? I think maybe that's why they took out Edward Norton and Terrence Howard because they weren't perfect for their roles, and so they got like these perfect people. Yeah. I don't think Don Cheadle's perfect as War Machine, but I think he's still really good. But we're not talking about that. But I do think Mark Ruffalo is perfect as Bruce Banner. Okay, we're not talking about that right now. But yeah, I just really like the casting choices here. Like every casting here, I really like. Even I really like Anthony Hopkins as Odin. Like what's his name? Hannibal the Cannibal from Silence of the Lambs plays Odin in this movie, and that was a really cool choice. Is there anything else? Yeah, all the other casting too with the minor characters was pretty cool too. Like Idris Elba as Heimdall was really cool too. Natalie Portman as James Foster I thought was perfect too. Like I thought all these casting was perfect. And let me think, is there anything else I should say? So yeah, Thor was a really cool character in this movie. You can really tell he wants to be king and like he wants to like take the throne, but like he's doing all these wrong decisions that made him not want to that made like Odin think wrong with him and all of that. And you can just really tell he really learns from his mistakes a lot, and like he's just a kid like trying to learn from his mistakes and all of that. So yeah, and I just really love that about him. Um, Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Thor in this movie? And then like Thor is just after that like Thor Thor's just like you can really tell like he's really confused with Earth too, and like he really wants to get his his hammer back, and yeah. And I really liked his love relationship between him and Jane Foster. I really dug that a lot. Like in this movie, they have such a cute love relationship, and yeah, just like I just really love all those things with like her just like being attracted by Thor and all of that, and her loving him and all of that. And I just really love like all the scenes that are together. So yeah, and I really love like whenever he like kisses her hand and like she's just like, okay, yeah. No, she's not like that. She's just like she has a really big smile on her face. So yeah, I really like that. Is there anything else? Oh yeah, I forgot to say this review will contain spoilers. So leave this review if you haven't seen the first Thor. Just leave the review. Yeah, just leave. Okay. Let me think. But if you have, just stay if you want. What was I saying? And then we get no, we're still talking about Thor. Yeah, just Thor was really cool. You can just really tell he wants to get. You can just really tell he wants to like go back to Asgard. He doesn't want to be banished anymore, and you can really tell that he gets along with a lot of these people on Earth, such as Jane, Professor Eric, and Darcy. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, he was really cool. Is there anything else I should say about him? Yeah. So yeah, he has a lot of really funny moments in here. Like he definitely was really funny in this movie too. Like the scene where like he's drinking coffee in the diner, and then he drops it and just like I'll have another, and then they get scared. Yeah. Uh, what was I saying? Yeah, Thor was really funny in this movie, and like he was definitely like the one to give the most comic relief in this movie, and also Darcy too, which I'll get to her in a bit. So yeah, Thor was a really cool hero in this movie, and this was a really cool introduction to him. Or anything else I should say about Thor? I think that's it about Thor. And then we get to Loki. Loki was a really cool villain to this movie. I think Loki might be my second favorite villain in the MCU series, and actually one of my favorite villains of all time, actually. So yeah, I really like Loki. Like he's really cool. I especially love him a lot in the first Avengers, which I'll get to. I'll talk about the first Avengers tomorrow, actually. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Loki? Um, is there anything else I should say about Loki? Oh yeah, just Loki. He's just really compelling. Like you can really get where he's coming from. Like he's a pretty compelling villain to this movie. Like you can just really tell he's just went really crazy once he found out that he was adopted and that he was from the people that they hated. And he just brought so much emotion in that scene. And you can just so tell like he wants to take over Asgard and he can just do anything. He just wants to and you can just so tell he wants to kill all the people that betrayed him and betrayed the throne and betrayed all of Asgard, no, even if they're his family. And yeah, you can just so tell he's just so evil. He'll just kill his family too. Like he'll kill any of his family too, and that is just really cool. Is there anything else? And you could just really tell he really wants to protect the throne and just take over it, and he does not want any distractions. Like he does not want anyone to go over there. So yeah, and that was really cool. And you can just so tell he doesn't. He'll just do anything for his plan. Like he'll kill people for his plan. He'll just do anything. Yeah, and that is really cool. Is there anything else I should say about him? Yeah, he's very wise in this movie. Like he's really wise. Like he's probably one of the most wiser characters in the MCU, in the entire MCU actually. Yeah, and I thought this was a really good, cool introduction to Loki. Is there anything else I should say about Loki? Yeah, but Loki, you can so tell like he's not bad at all. He actually is bad, but like there's like motivation to it. There's actually motivation to it, and like he's both like good and bad at the same time. So yeah, and that was really cool about him too. Is there anything else I should say about him? Yeah, and you can just really tell he just wants all the power, and like, there's this one scene where he tries to lift up Thor's hammer, but he can't either, and that was really cool. So yeah, Loki was just a really cool villain to this movie, and I really love like all the scenes with him and the Frost Giants. Yeah. Is there anything else I should say about Loki? I think that's it. And then we get to Odin. Odin was a pretty cool character too. I really like how he's the leader of Asgard and he banished he banished Thor, but like Loki, like he felt like he betrayed Loki, so he went into so he like had a heart attack and he went into Odin's sleep. And I really like that a lot about him, how he's just in Odin's sleep. And I liked how he was all good too. So yeah, Odin was a pretty cool character too, and I really liked Jane Foster a lot. She was a really cool character. I really liked her a lot. A lot of people didn't like what she did in the sequel. I really liked how she was handled in the sequel. I really liked that, but I'll get to that once I talk about the sequel. So yeah, but here Jane Foster was really cool, and I just really like her and Thor's love relationship. Like I said, I just really love her in this movie, and I really love how she's always willing to help out Thor. Like she's always willing to help out Thor, even though she's not entirely sure if he's telling the truth and all of that. She's just still willing to help him out, and I really like that a lot about her. And I love the whole thing with like Shield and Agent Coulson like taking all their stuff, like taking all their science stuff, taking the book and all of that. I thought that was pretty funny, and I thought that was really cool for their characters that like they just lost all their stuff, like they don't know what to do now. So yeah, and I really liked that a lot about them, and I really liked how like she just like took Thor there so she could get back her stuff and all of that. She's just like, even if you do that, like how do you expect to do that? Because like there's so much security there. Yeah, so yeah, I just really like her and Thor's like they're sort of partners in this movie, but they become a lot more partners in the second one. Yeah, I really like that a lot about her. Is there anything else I should say about Jane? Yeah, I really liked how she was like I really liked her like relationship with Eric and Darcy too. I really liked how much they were friends and how much she like connected with them and all that. That was really cool. Is there anything else I should say about Jane? So yeah, I really like Jane in this movie. So yeah, I think that's all I should talk about Jane for now. So yeah. And then we get to Heimdall. Heimdall was a pretty cool character in this movie too. Like he was really wise, and you can just so tell he really cares for like the thing he has. Like you can just tell how powerful he is. Like he's the only one that can take the power to teleport people to other places and back to Asgard. So yeah, that was really cool. So yeah, and you can just so tell like he really cares for that too. Like he does not want anything bad to happen to that, and he does not want anything bad to happen to Asgard at all. And you can just so tell how much he despises Loki, and that was really cool. Let me think. Is there anything else I should say about Loki in this movie? I'm not Loki. I mean Heimdall. Yeah, just Heimdall was really cool. Just him using a sword was really cool too. So yeah, Heimdall was a really cool character, and I really like Professor Eric Selvig. He was really cool. He was a really cool character too. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing his last name. I think that's his last name, but forgive me if that's not his last name. But yeah, I really liked him a lot in this movie. He was a really cool character. He wasn't wise, but he was a really cool scientist too, and I really liked how he sided with Thor too, and I really liked that scene where him and Thor were drinking in the bar, and like it was Thor's first time trying beer on Earth, and from there he gets hooked on it, and he can handle the alcohol, but then Eric gets drunk. So yeah, that scene was really funny. Is there anything else I should say about Eric? So yeah, you can just really tell that he really sides with Thor, and like he really sides with Jane and Darcy too, and he really cares for their like little facility of like technology and all of that. Yeah, I really like that a lot about him. Is there anything else I should say about Eric? Yeah, Eric was just a really cool character. I really liked him, and they used him like a lot of these characters. They really improved on them with the first Avengers and in the sequels. So yeah, but I'll get to that once I talk about them, which I can't wait to talk about those movies. Especially the first Avengers. Let me think. What else was I saying? So yeah, I think that's all about Eric. And I really like Darcy too. Darcy Lewis. I think that was her name. She was a really cool character too. She was really funny in this movie. Like I thought she definitely was the one to give up a lot of comic relief too, next to Thor. She was really funny, and yeah, I just really liked her a lot. And like all the scenes with her are just really funny. Just her being attracted to Thor was really funny. And when they took away her all her stuff. She just when they take away all their stuff. She's even like, they even took away my iPod. I downloaded like 30 songs from there. Yeah, that was really funny, and it should just you could just really tell she really cares for the facility too, and also her iPod too. And you can just really tell she cares for Thor too, but not like as a boyfriend, but like as like a friend type. So yeah, you could just really tell that about her, and you can just really tell she really likes sides with all the people she works with, and like she really sides with them. So yeah. Is there anything else I should say about Darcy? Okay, one quick thing. I just really find Kat Dennings a really attractive actress. I just want to say that. So yeah, and she's really attractive in this movie. And same with Natalie Portman too. I forgot to say that about her. Natalie Portman's really attractive too, and I really find her really attractive in this movie too. Is there anything else I should say about Darcy? I think that's it. She was a really cool character. And then we get to what's his name? And then we get to the three warriors. The three warriors were pretty cool in this movie. They had Sif, the fat dude, and the dude with the blonde hair. I really liked them a lot. They were pretty cool too. They were really wise, and I really liked how they were like Thor's best friends. I really liked that a lot about this movie. And I liked when they went into Earth and like they went to Thor and they were all hugging him and all of that. So yeah, and I really liked all the scenes with them in action too. They were really cool too. And I really loved how they always had like second thoughts about Loki and all of that. So yeah, I really like they didn't just have second thoughts. They didn't really side with him very much. Yeah, and I really liked that a lot about them. So yeah, I really liked the three warriors a lot, and I thought the fat one was really funny. How he would always eat food all the time, like even when they were having like an important discussion, he was still eating food. So yeah, I really liked that a lot about him. He was really funny, and I liked the blonde one too. He was pretty cool, and I really liked how wise Sif was too. She was really wise. So yeah, the three warriors were pretty cool too. Is there anything else I should say about this movie? I really like the main Frost Giant, the leader of all the Frost Giants. I forgot his name, but he was played by Pharaoh or Four. I forgot his name, but but I don't know how to pronounce his name. But like he was really cool in this movie. He was really cool. Yeah, he was a really cool secondary antagonist. So yeah. Let me think. And then there is Coulson does have sort of a big role in this movie, and he was really cool in this movie. Coulson actually did have a huge role in all of MCU's Phase One. But yeah, and I really liked Coulson in this movie. I really liked how he cared for the facility of like trying to hold Thor's hammer, and I really liked how he just was really confused, like why we can't hold this hammer and all of that. And like you can just so tell he wants to hold it, and he wants to like find out more about that. So yeah, and you can just really tell like you can just really tell he does not want anyone getting into his way too, and he'll do anything. Like he'll even take the Jane and all of their research. So yeah, that was really funny, and I just yeah. So he was just really cool in this movie once again. So yeah, and I really liked how they introduced Hawkeye in this movie. His introduction I thought was pretty cool actually. He had a very small role in this movie. It was more of a cameo, but he was still really cool in this movie. Like the scene where he's shooting arrows, like he shoots an arrow at Thor. That scene was really cool. So yeah, I think that's all the characters in this movie. They were all really cool. Let me think. Is there anything else? So this, yeah. The actors all did such an amazing job. Actually, like they all did a really good job. Like they all gave it their all in this movie. Like they all were really good, cool in this movie. Let me think. Is there anything else? Yeah, all the comic relief really worked for me. Like whenever they brought in comic relief, it all worked for me. So yeah. Let me think. The pacing I thought was pretty cool actually. This movie's like an hour and 50 minutes long I think, but it went by pretty fast to me. And yeah, it went by pretty fast, and the way it was paced was just really cool. So yeah, the pacing was pretty good too. And Kenneth Branagh definitely had a really cool heart with making this movie. So yeah, and then like the action sequences to this movie I thought were really cool. Like all the action sequences I thought were amazing to this movie. Like they were all done really well. Like all the action was fucking awesome in this movie. Like the effects and all of the stuff that was used in this movie all looked really real. They were all done very well. Just all the action scenes were just really cool. So yeah, I just loved all the action in this movie. So yeah, just every scene with action, like when they're fighting the Frost Giants and like the end battle was really cool. So yeah, and let's talk. And I really like the scene with the fight between the Destroyer and Thor. The Destroyer kind of reminded me of Silver Samurai in a lot of ways. So yeah, I just wanted to quickly say that. But like yeah, just Thor. I love the scene with him fighting the Destroyer, but like he's a human, so he can't just fight him very much. But like the three warriors are mostly fighting him. So yeah, and I really loved how he was willing to sacrifice himself for all these people. Like he knew that Loki was controlling the Destroyer. He was like, Loki, you don't have to fight all these people. This won't take away your pain and all of that. But then Loki, like you think that Loki's like I'm not gonna do it, but then he just you think he's gonna turn around, but then he like turns back and then he punches Thor, and that breaks all his bones and like everything, and like that makes him die, and that shows that he was willing to sacrifice himself for all these people. And then from there, Odin senses it, and then his a tear drops out of him, and that scene brought really a lot of emotion in that, and that made Mjolnir come out of its place and then go to Thor, and that resurrects him, and that scene was really cool. And then Jane and all of them like see that he wasn't lying, that he was telling the truth, that this is actually what he really was. And so yeah, but they already believed that that was who he really was when the three warriors came in. But once that happened, they were in shock, and they were like, so this is how your look, huh? So yeah, and that scene was really cool. And then he fights off the Destroyer with the hammer, and then he like cuts his head off, and that scene was just really cool. And he brought a tornado. Yeah, that scene was awesome. Let me think, is there anything else I should say about this movie? And I really liked when he gets back to Asgard, but then he was originally gonna show Jane the colorful rainbow bridge, because like he told her about that. And yeah, I really liked that. Oh yeah, I really liked that scene where they were talking in the campfire. That was a really emotional scene to really give off a lot of chemistry. So yeah, but I really liked how like he was gonna do that, but then he was like, no, I can't. There's a lot of dangers in there. So, but I give you my word, I'll come back to you. And then she kisses her hand, and then after that, a brief moment of silence comes on, and then they just kiss each other. And so yeah, I really liked that scene so much. They kiss each other, and then he just leaves. So yeah, and that was a really cool scene. Is there anything else I should say? So yeah, I really liked when he gets back to Asgard. And he destroys. No, he doesn't destroy most of the Frost Giants. Loki destroys the Frost Giants, and he betrays them because he wants to kill all of them, even if they're his family. And he even killed his real father because he was trying to kill Odin. So yeah. And I really liked how when he came back, like he was telling his mother, like, mother, everything Loki's been doing was a lie. Like he was working with the Frost Giants and all of that. So yeah, but I really liked how like they're fighting in that scene, and like Loki, like he tries to like still destroy the whole race of the whole planet of Utenheim. I think that's how they pronounced it. The planet the Frost Giants lived in. That scene was really cool, and like they were fighting in that scene, and like that scene was just really cool. And then like Thor just breaks that whole place by breaking like half the Rainbow Bridge. So yeah, and then from there like we see that like from there like he's not going to be able to go back to Earth for a very long time. So yeah, and so because he destroyed the whole teleporter, and that was a really cool scene. And then from there they both fall down, and like Odin barely catches Thor, and then Thor catch Loki, and that was a really cool scene. And he's just like, brother, you don't have to do all this madness and all of that. He's just like, and then from there like Loki like let's go, and then he like falls down. He falls down, and you think he dies, but he ends up again in the first Avenger. So yeah, I thought that was a really cool ending, and I thought it was really cool just that scene where him and Odin were talking during the sunset. So yeah, that was a really cool scene. I don't know if it was the sunset or the sunrise, or it was just daytime, but the sun was out. So yeah. So yeah, that was a really cool scene, and just the way this movie ended was really cool, and I just really like how we could still see Jane, how like she made her facility even bigger, and she's trying to like find Thor and all that. So yeah, that was a really cool ending. So yeah, so yeah, that was just really it was just so yeah, just really cool how this movie ended. So yeah, I really love this movie actually. This movie is really cool. So yeah, I love this movie. Yeah, to rate this movie, I'll rate this movie an A minus. Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. So yeah. Um, Bye, and see you all in the next review.